Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about the Sun conjunct Pluto in a natal chart. Now, some of you may remember when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I did a series on the aspects of the natal chart. They were a little bit concise. Some people may have referred to them as snappy, so what I decided to do was make another series on them in which the videos would be a little bit longer and more descriptive. So anyway, first thing up is if you have the Sun conjunct Pluto in a natal chart, there may be a very intense focus, which is the Sun, on what you have a passion and desire for, which is Pluto. Now, if you have Pluto in Scorpio as an example, that strong passion and desire maybe tied in with forensics or investigation, embalming, transformation. It could be the occult, which includes astrology, psychology, uh, just really it could be matters of support in general. And if you have, let's say if Pluto is in Sagittarius is another example of those things you have, that real strong, intense passion and desire for may include, simply expanding horizons, foreign travel, higher education, publishing, advertising, uh, could be a printing press operation, sports, the outdoors, adventure, as some examples. Now, this aspect could shine the light, so to speak, which is the Sun on investigative ability, which is Pluto. If you have Pluto, say, Sagittarius, that might be where you're very, optimistic, exuberant and enthusiastic in doing so. Um, the thing about this too is if you have the Sun conjunct Pluto in your natal chart, it could manifest in intimate connections, which is Pluto, maybe strongly, tied in with one's ego, which is the Sun. Now, the thing about it is if Pluto, say, is in Libra, it could be those that are Libra Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, or those that embody, Libra characteristics. It could be people that are very equitable, balanced, refined, fair. It could be those that are attractive, cooperative, persuasive, and also, but could be ambivalent and indecisive as well. Now, another way that this aspect may be expressed, it could be that, those same people, the intimate connections, may figure, more prominently in one's life, which is the Sun. And, if you have, let's say, if the Sun is in Aquarius, it could be a life in which one expresses a lot of humanitarianism, selflessness, altruism, even innovation, or a life that may be strongly tied into astronomy or astrology, computers, electronics, as some examples. And this aspect too can indicate that there's more attention, which is the Sun, on making a major change or transformation, which is Pluto. If Pluto is in the 12th house, as an example, it could be one of a spiritual, transformation. Ninth house could be one connected with one's belief or philosophy, outlook. And that could be the first house as well, because the first house is connected, with one's outlook on life. But if you have Pluto in the first house, it could be more of a physical transformation of the body, of the physical body, as some examples. Now, also too, if you have Pluto conjunct the Sun, you may be a little bit darker in appearance, which is the Sun, and dark, Pluto is dark energy, and your general, your basic fundamental character, which is the Sun, may be more mysterious, secretive, may even appear imposing, or one, that is maybe has a dark side even to the nature. And the thing is, if I'm not mistaken, the former, the late, legendary, iconic singer, Michael Jackson, had Pluto conjunct his sun. You may want to check that and just, to verify, online, but I'm close to 100% sure he did, and that gave, him, I felt like there was something very secret, very mysterious about his nature. It didn't seem like he divulged, too much about, himself publicly, very, more quiet, than the typical Virgo. He may have had Scorpio rising. It could be a possibility, because if I'm not mistaken, I don't believe that there is, 100% confirmed or, verified a time of birth for him as of yet. So that could have played a role if he was Scorpio, if he had a Scorpio ascendant. But anyway, another thing too is that, this aspect too may give more power, which is Pluto, in terms of the vitality and energy of the person, which is the sun, and powers Pluto. The thing too is there may also be, Pluto is about upheavals as well, so there may be more upheavals in terms of, the energy level and the physical body to some degree, because the sun plays a role in the physical body. Yes, the ascendant is what dominates the appearance and physical body, but the sun does play a role in that as well. And this aspect can be one that's paradoxical too. It could be one in which, the person may really intensely desire the spotlight, but at the same time they want a side where they could be very, have their privacy and their secrecy. So it kind of, there can be a little fluctuation with this energy. Now, another thing too about the Sun conjunct Pluto in the natal chart, there may be physical related issues. The Sun is, again, has a connection with the physical body, and there may be physical related issues. It could be with the colon, the prostate, the bladder, the urinary tract, or the reproductive system, which is Pluto. And this is a aspect which could indicate, some, transformation or surgery on the physical body at some point. I understand many people have surgery, regardless, of aspects in their chart, but there may be a greater propensity for this, or maybe something from a more serious nature, or people that have this aspect may have more, surgeries than the average person. So also too, having this aspect, there can be an intense drive and motivation, which is the sun, for Pluto related activities, and that can encompasses many things, whether it's simply making a major change or transformation or support, matters with insurance, taxes. It could be leaving a legacy. It may have something to do with the Pluto related field, whether it could be, something, that's associated with forensics or investigation or embalming, or the occult, which includes astrology or locksmithing, as some other examples. Now, another thing too about this aspect, the actions, which is the sun, may be done, with a lot of passion, desire, and emotional intensity, which is Pluto. Now, let's say if the sun is in Capricorn, it could be actions that are very, business, career related, ones that have, where there's a lot of planning and premeditation, and actions, where there's a lot of, again, the plotting and planning prior to taking them, very and also, actions where the person is very serious about as well, if the sun is in Capricorn as an example, and or just trying to improve one's social status or stature in life. Now, another thing too about this aspect is that the life, which is the sun, may be dominated more by crisis and upheavals, which is Pluto, more so than the average person. If, let's say if the sun is in Libra, it could be matters, legal related matters or lawsuits. There may be things, could be matters with relationships or arbitration, as some other examples, just matters connected with fairness, with balance in one's life. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.